Hello everyone, it's Danielle here for Clair Designs. Today's project, I'm going to show you my simple Copic coloring technique using one of the new digital images from Clair Designs. I'll be working with one of the 6 digital stamp sets, and I'll tell you more about it as we go along, so stay tuned. So today I'm excited for a few reasons. One, I woke up this morning, so that's another day to share in with my family and play with our new puppy. Number 2, I'm one of the new design team members for Clair Designs, and I'm really stoked about that. And number 3, most importantly, which is why you're here, is that Clair Designs is having a new release. The release includes 6 digital stamp sets, and you'll see on across the Clair platform other designers going through, showcasing other sets. For me today, I'm going to be my design is from the Prized Life digital stamp set. It's a stamp set of 10, has 5 images and 5 sentiments. There's a couple of floral images and those sentiments to express thoughts for those life events. Okay, so to start the project, I cut and fold an A2 size card base, which measures 4.25 by 5.5. It has a top fold. The first layer, I'm going to directly adhere to the card base. It's a black card panel, and I leave about 1/8 of an inch border on all sides. And then the top layer is where I downloaded the stamp design and the sentiment. I printed and I colored the image. I'm using Copic markers. My colors I'm showing you there on the screen. As I go through the video, once I use a marker, I pop up the color within the first 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. So you're aware of the color I'm using at the time. So my approach to coloring the flowers is pretty common with Copic coloring. At least I think so. I have a set of 3 markers for the petals and another set of 3 markers for the middle of the flowers, which I believe is called the disc, right? Those of you that know the parts of a flower, I think it's called the disc. Anyway, so the set of 3 markers are generally in the same color family. And don't panic, I'm not going into a whole Copic coloring lesson because I'm not equipped to do that. I know very little, so I'm going to share the little I do know. So the set of 3 markers are generally in the same color family. At least this is my approach. So let me just reiterate. This is my approach to how I'm coloring the flowers for this project. So the set of 3 markers are generally in the same color family. For this design, when I color the middle of the flower or the disc, 2 of the 3 are in the same color family, and then that third one kind of complements it. So nevertheless, 3 markers for the petals, 3 for the middle of the flower or the disc. I have a dark, I have a mid, and I have a light tone. Each provides like a level of intensity so I can get that shaded look, and then its saturation helps me blend the colors together. So I use my darkest tone on the inner part of the flower petal. I follow with my mid-tone for the tip and the base of the flower petal, and then I blend all the colors together with my lightest tone. So I use dark, mid, light to blend. And like I alluded to earlier, I'm not a Copic color expert, nor do I have any certifications in Copic coloring. Right now I'm on the path of I just color the way I like. If it looks nice, I go with it. I do practice, before I finalize a project, I practice a little bit to see if my color combinations work and if the overall color scheme works, with the colors that I've chosen. But that's as far as I go into it. There's no science to it, at least for me. So again, my approach here is using markers or 3 markers in the same color family. I use the darkest, then mid-tone, and then I follow with my light to blend. So what I'm showing you here, and I thought it would be a good idea to show you the first couple of flowers that I color in more real time, and then I speed the video up a little bit as I color the remainder of the flowers. Okay. So, excuse me. As you're watching me color, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the new release. So Joy Clair Designs' new release will include a set of 6 digital stamp sets. And I have the names of the sets, which are Floral Friendship, God Guides, Mandala Love, Pencil Me, Make a Wish, and the one that I'm using for this project today is called Prized Life. I've seen all the sets, and there's so much to work with. If you're a fan of digital stamps, the sky's the limit. As you can see with my design today, I did kind of like a masking technique. You can reposition, resize, flip, adjust, limitless options. I think you'll be pretty happy with what Martha or the platform is offering you. Um, you can mix and match within one or across multiple sets. There are really a lot of options you can work with, and it's really wherever your creativity leads you. I'm hoping that my project, along with the rest of the team's projects, offers you loads of inspiration. So just make sure you go visit joyclair.com. The new release is up July 30th and 31st. So after you're watching this video, or after you watch the video, go visit the site and craft joy into someone's life with Joy Clair Designs. And by the way, that's a nervous laughter. I'm really excited about the stamp set. It's just that I have like a little, notes on the side here because if I go up off script, which I'm doing now, that can lead to disaster. So I try to like organize my thoughts to make sure I talk about what I'm supposed to talk about. So back to the card. I think I'm going to speed this up pretty soon. And you'll notice as I color, I kind of, do the approach that I talked about earlier with the dark, mid, and light tones. And then I often, depending upon how it looks, I go over the images again. So I color them a second time, or a second layer of color. I think that's the right way to say it, right? So I color the flowers once, then I let it dry a little bit, and then I go over it a second time using the same approach, the dark, mid, and light tone to blend. And I do that because that gives it more vibrancy. So the more times you go over it, well, I don't want to make that conclusion, but I do it because I think it kind of it offers more, yeah, it's more vibrant. I think that's okay to say. Um, and some people just do it once. I have to do it more than one time because I like to see like a blend. And you'll see that in my pictures at the end of the video. So as you watch me color the rest of the flowers, I guess I can just share a little bit about me. So my name's Danielle. I've been making cards for about 8 or 9 years. I started with scrapbooking when I was pregnant with my daughter. And I captured, all of the sonograms and pictures and the pink room and all of that. So for about the first 6 years of her life, the girl, it's captured in a scrapbook. So I hope she values that when she gets older. I am married. I've been married to the same man for 25 years. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary. That's like a quarter of a century. It's really to death do us part now. I mean, he just sucked up all my good years. Just kidding, by the way. He's a good guy. I like him. He still makes me laugh, which is important. I like to laugh. Let's see. Our kid is about to start high school virtually because of the pandemic. And she's a theater nerd, smart as a whip. She writes well. She language arts. I can't wait to see her future. She's a smart girl. She's talented. She applied to get into this performance arts high school. And I believe in theater, there were only, I want to say, 7 or 8 slots for incoming freshmen. And she filled one. And that's at over 160 something applicants. So kudos to her. I can't wait to see her future. I always tell her when she accepts her first Tony or Oscar, I am going to embarrass her on the world stage. I just can't wait to have my sign, to do interviews and all that stuff. Um, Anyway, yeah, she is my pride and joy. Love her a lot. We have one kid. We have a second. Well, we have a fur baby. His name is Alex, by the way. He's a Sheltie, and we just got him. He's a puppy. He's almost 4 months, and ooh, it's a lot with puppy training. But I'm enjoying it. He's really cute. Yep. I work in IT. I'm a cloud IT manager, and I like to watch Hallmark and Lifetime channels. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Um, so back to the card. So now I'm starting to color the middle of the flower or the disc. I start with E15, and that will represent my darkest tone. Now E15 and then the Y color markers I'm about to use following this, they're not in the same color family, but they complement each other. So E15 it's going to represent the darkest shade. Then I follow that with my mid shade, which is my mid-tone, I'm sorry, which is Y28, and then my lightest tone is Y26. So I do dark, mid, light, same approach. E15, Y28, Y26. So one thing to note is towards the end of the video, I have pictures of the card, and that's after it dried, and the ink really begins to pop. I didn't do another shade after what you're watching now. And so I think once the card was able to completely dry, and I took those pictures, I really like the results. And I'm just pointing that out because at the end you'll see what I'm talking about when you look at the end result. So I really enjoyed playing with this stamp set. I have a few more projects to share with you in upcoming videos. I can't wait for that. I hope you enjoyed this design. I had a lot of fun playing around with it. I'm pretty new to digital stamping or digital stamps, so it was a learning curve for me. But I really like the way this turned out. So to finish off the card, I'm applying my black card panel. That's the first layer to the card base. I leave about 1/8 of an inch border on all sides. I then apply the top layer with the image and the colored image with the sentiment. I add that to this black card panel, and you'll see I leave that's a little less than 1/8 of an inch. Next time I have to have more detailed measurements, but I leave a border from the top panel with that card panel. I think that just gives it a nice look. I then enhance the card a little bit, finish it off with a little bit of shimmer and shine. I use Wink of Stella Clear on the petals. Actually, I think I go over the whole flower with that. Yeah, I go over the entire flower with the Wink of Stella, and then I apply glossy accents to the middle of the flower. I then decide, and you'll see in a few seconds here, I decide to add Wink of Stella to the sentiment, at least the largest font, the word kindness. I add a little bit of Wink of Stella there. And I think that finishes off the card. The sentiment reads, "Your kindness is so appreciated." And again, this stamp set is called Prized Life. It has a set of 10 stamps, 5 sentiments, and 5 images. I am showcasing one stamp, one flower, and one of the images and one of the sentiments. And in upcoming projects, I have more than one image on the project. But for now, yeah, I'll add more details to the description of this video. Make sure you visit joyclair.com to see the full release. And I'll talk to you next time. Thank you. Bye.